What's up, guys? Welcome to week 7 of training for my next meet in April. This is my squat session for the week. I was slated to work up to another top triple this week, something in the 515 to 525 range. Going into this day here, I was definitely a lot more prepared than I was last week. I was better fed, perfectly hydrated, but my hip on the, I believe, right or left side was feeling tight. So I ended up having to do a little bit of extra mobility work to my hips prior to squatting on this day here, and I don't typically prefer to do that. I used to do a lot, but I found that if I actually leave my hips a little bit tighter, that I get more pop and speed out of the bottom of my squat. And having to go and dig out my hip and stretch it a little bit and floss prior to squatting definitely took away some of my speed and stability out of the bottom. So I was having a little bit of trouble just, again, finding my groove with wraps on. It was definitely less uncomfortable this week than it was last week, but you can see here that I'm hitting I had a few extra sets, this one here at 405, just to really lock in that groove and figure out what to do with my descent. I don't know why, but on some of my heavier wrapped sets, I tend to look straight up, or not straight up, but straight forward rather than slightly down, and that was throwing me off a little bit. So these moved pretty well, but because of just those things feeling inconsistent, I decided to go with a top set of 515 this week instead of the 525 that I was kind of hoping for, and that was definitely a good call. So I was glad that I kind of paid attention to my body and how everything was feeling, and didn't let my ego get in the way of still taking a win and hitting some good work in here. So this is that top set at 515 for 3. As you can see, these are actually moving pretty well. I did come out of my groove a little bit, I believe, on this third rep here. So this ended up feeling real heavy, but I still finished the rep and just lost balance a little bit at the top there. So just kind of called that my top set. And what I wanted to do is actually spend some time at slightly more manageable weight, trying to really dial in that descent path and that groove with wraps. So what you can see here is a back down set. I did 3 total of these. Back down triple at 465, using my new Texas squat bar, so everything is 10 pounds heavier than it looks. And this one moved pretty well. The second set at 465 was definitely my best working set of the entire day. Everything was nice and smooth on this one, and I got back some of my descent speed that I had kind of neglected, and you can definitely see a big difference in the amount of pop that I get out of the hole on these because I dropped into the squat faster. Using this particular pair of wraps, I feel like I get more out of them if I drop a little bit quicker, as opposed to the Titan THPs that I was using for the majority of last year, where they're a little bit more of a cast and a little bit less rebound. So those have a lot of stopping power, and if I want to squat slow, that's a little bit better of a wrap. But I think that these definitely feel better if I drop into the hole a little bit quicker. You can see with this rep here. So a couple of good lessons learned. Ended up hitting a total of 4 working triples today. Was definitely happy with how everything felt after having hit those back off sets. So that was definitely a good call. I think next week I will shoot for something in the 525 to 35 range, and then again drop down and really dial in my technique with those back off sets. So followed this with pause squats up to 415 for 3. I thought I was squatting 405 because somewhere along the line I forgot the weight of my own bar that I'd already had to Google earlier in the day. So hit 415 for 3 as my top set of pause squats, and then followed with some leg press and some abs. Anyways, that is it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you haven't done so already, connect with me on Facebook and Instagram. And as always, be sure to check out our website at www.savagegym.com.
Come on.